Hello, lovely people. Here's Muli from Little Wisdom. Today, let's continue talking about the law of compulsive behavior, determining the strengths of people's character. In this lecture, we will talk about what are signs of strong and weak character, toxic types of people, and how to know your own character thoroughly and then break the negative compulsive patterns. True character comes from deep within, from the core. People with strong character have a strong feeling of personal security and self-worth. Therefore, they are not continually feeling insecure about their status. Instead, they are able to take criticism and learn from experiences. They are overall quite resilient and patient. They can maintain presence of mind, organize a lot of materials, handle chaos and unpredictable situations without feeling anxious. They value persistence and complete what they start. Do not give up easily. Adaptability and openness are also key signs of people with strong character. They are open to new experiences, new ideas, and innovative ways of doing things without compromising their basic principles. They are also generous, reliable, and empathetic team player. When it's necessary, they are willing to sacrifice for the team because they know what works best for the team and themselves. Moreover, they show remarkable determination and long-term productivity. Weak character is obviously the opposite of the strong character. People with weak character cannot take any criticism and therefore cannot learn from others. They may listen to the instruction, but finally revert to what they think the best. They are generally quite slippery, evasive, and easily overwhelmed by circumstances. We humans are all a mixture of strong and weak qualities, but most of us veer clearly in one or the other direction. Avoiding toxic types of people who can sabotage your life is very important. It is not difficult to recognize the obviously envy or manipulative person, but there are some types which are quite tricky. Their toxic nature is beneath the first-sighted positive appearance. Your best defense is to be armed with knowledge, notice the signs of toxic character earlier on, and not get involved, or try to disengage from them as quick as possible. Hyper-perfectionists. It is a nightmare to work with hyper-perfectionists. At the first glance, it seems like they work very hard and fully dedicated in their job. They put long hours and give their best to maintain the highest standards. I know it sounds quite good, but slowly you may find out that they explode easily and often yell at people for not doing a good job. They tend to blame others for everything that goes wrong. In their eyes, nobody is working hard enough. Because they are not satisfied with others' job, cannot trust anyone, and do not delegate tasks, they are prone to fall into micromanagement, overseeing everything. As a result, people around them feel resentful and even secretly resistant. Their groups tend to be not so well organized and full of chaos and political infighting. For themselves, they may end up with serious health problems due to the burnout. You may ask why they have to be so stressed with themselves and others. Because their desire for power and controlling leading to the endless inner anxieties and abusiveness. If you would like to look deeper, you may notice that they usually have a dependency issue from their family background. Any feelings of depending on others for something opens up their old wounds and anxieties. Rebel. Rebels look completely different from the hyper-perfectionists. They usually display a rebel hippie pose, but don't be fooled by their relaxing appearance. They can also be quite toxic to hang around. Indeed, they cannot accept any criticism from others, and cannot be told what to do. They tend to use their biting sense of humor to show their hate towards authority and all those in power. and at the same time, they love underdogs. Everything must be on their terms. No one should be above them. They must be the center of power. Furthermore, they may utilize such rebel pose to gain attention and can even be addicted to the attention. Such type of people usually have a parent or father figure who disappointed them since childhood. Personalizer. Personalizers may appear quite sensitive, thoughtful. If you only see the surface, you may think they are intelligent, considerate, and good to work with. But gradually, you begin to notice the thoughtful turns into irritable and touchy. They are constantly on guard to scrutinize if you pay attention to them, if you show respect to them. They take everything that people say and do personally, and can think about this for days, months, or even years. Even worse, they expect others to give them things that they want without having to ask. If you owe them something and forget after a while, they will get back after years. Don't forget, they have a very long memory. If you look at the root of their character, you will realize that as children, they had the feeling that they had never got enough from their parents, no matter love, attention, or material possessions. Big talker. You might be impressed by their great ideas and project plans, but before you decide to work with them with full power, you would better to step back, check their record for past achievements firstly, with the following questions. Are they secretly afraid of the effort and responsibilities of translating their ideas into action? Specifically, did they ever slip away at the last moment of starting to take concrete action? Did they ever run away when they are called to account? Did they never complete anything? Did they always blame on others for not realizing their visions and always have a so-called reasonable excuse for themselves? Did they just prefer to find suckers to do all the hard work and they simply enjoy the attention and power, but blame on them when things go wrong? Avoiding criticism and judgment is the goal of their life. They know the best way to avoid it is to start nothing. No action, no mistakes, and then no criticism. If you answer most of the above questions with yes, then you know the person you are dealing with is totally a big talker. What you should do is to simply be amused by their stories and take it no further. Big talkers usually have inconsistent parents as negative role models who turn on them suddenly for the smallest misdeed. Sexualizer. You have never seen such a charming person who is full of sexual energy. He or she looks so natural and unrepressed. But wait a moment, he or she might be a toxic sexualizer who see every relationship as potentially sexual. That means they want as much sex as possible, because they consider sex as a means of self-validation. The young sexualizers tend to have an exciting and promiscuous life, and when they get older, they are prone to become depressed or even suicide. In the earliest years, the sexualizers were suffered from sexual abuse, physically or psychologically, or even in both ways. Pleaser. Pleasers are very common in this modern society. They are so nice, polite, and considerate. It is hard to imagine that such accommodating and charming person to talk something behind your back, but that might be the truth. They are consummate courtiers who use smiling, flattery, and deferential front to deflate hostility. But deep inside, they resent that they have to play the role and secretly want to harm the person they serve to. Such contradictory behavior results from their harsh and punishing parents, who scrutinize their every action. Therefore, they develop niceness as a defense mechanism and become expert liars. There are also other toxic types of people mentioned in this book, like drama magnate, the pampered prince or princess, savior, easy moralizer. but I'm not going to go further for all of this here. Next, let's talk about how to know your own character thoroughly and break the negative compulsive patterns. Before going further into details, a proper attitude must be set up. Accept and embrace your character. You should first of all completely accept your current character, no matter you have weak or quite strong qualities. Developing the inner strength requires deep self-awareness and lots of practices. You should start by examining yourself as thoroughly as possible. Think and write down your answers to the following questions. What are the natural strengths in your character? And which activities do these strengths naturally lead you to? For example, you are very good at logic thinking, which can help you become successful in natural science, informatic technology, and so on. Or you are very creative. That opens you the door towards art. What are your negative patterns in your character, which are often found in repeated mistakes? And try to examine the root in your past that formed the negative patterns. Be honest with yourself, especially with your mistakes that happens again and again. It can be painful to face your own mistakes, but trust me, it is better to see them now and try to manage them properly with awareness and practices. You don't want to see yourself fall at the same place for the whole life, do you? Negative patterns can tend to be governed by intensive anxiety, sensitivity, hostility, anger, or tend to fall in love with the same wrong type of person, or always feel insecure and bullied. The root in the past is very likely to be related to the quality of attachment with parents and siblings in the early childhood. Are you an introvert or extrovert? After knowing your nature strengths, negative patterns, and character inclination, your limitations should be quite clear. Knowing your limitations are very important for choosing career paths that are suitable for you and match your character and values. Until here, you should understand yourself on a higher level, hopefully. Then, next time as you see yourself fall into one of your usual negative patterns, try to catch yourself in time and step back. Learn to stop certain patterns. I know, character is so deeply ingrained inside of us. It's very difficult, almost impossible, to completely get rid of it. But through practicing, you can gain more and more awareness of your negative compulsive patterns and correct them with conscious step by step. The long-term solution for the weaknesses of your character is to slowly transform them into actual strengths. Instead of seeing them as flaws, you should see them as a true source of power. Even for toxic type of people we mentioned before, there is a corresponding strength behind each of their weakness. For example, hyper-perfectionists their energy on productive work instead of on people. Rebels can channel their energy into innovative work instead of insulting others. Personalizers can transfer their highly sensitivity into active empathy. Pleasers can use their excellent courtier skills and charm as powerful social skills. Besides dealing with the weaknesses in your character, you can also head towards a stronger character. To develop more resilience under pressure, place yourself repeatedly in stressful and adverse situations. Let your mind and body get used to the stress. To cultivate persistence, discipline, and patience, form a small habit and insist on it every day, such as 10 minutes workout or 15 minutes learning a new language or 10 minutes reading books. To develop more flexibility in character, try out some new strategies of thinking, doing the opposite of what you normally do. Last but not least, work and associate with people displaying strong character, and choose partner with inner strengths. Because people of real strength are as rare as gold, please treat them as treasure. That's all for today. Hope you enjoy it. If you would like to share us your experiences or give us some feedback, you're very welcome to leave comments below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video today, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe our channel. You can find professional psychology tutorials with interesting explanation here. Again, thank you so much for your valuable time and efforts dedicated for your mental health. I am Muli from Little Wisdom. Wish you have a wonderful day and see you next time.